My ninth grade stalker. I'm turning 20 in a month, but this happened when I was in ninth grade, and I was a naive 15-year-old just starting the big high school life. I live in Hungary, so we have a different school system and such. So when I started high school, I decided I wanted to be a part of the chorus of the school. So, I go the second week of school, and that's when I first meet him. Let's call him George. So, we go around. Everyone says their name and a few things about themselves, the usual. I didn't even notice him at first, because he was sitting at the back, and he was very quiet the whole time. Well, everything goes well, my life goes on. Nothing really happening. During my first 3 weeks I decided to take part of the school program that focuses on students with good grades, and an interest in nature and subjects. I joined because I was obsessed with chemistry and biology at the time, and I wanted to do as much as I could. When I joined, with a few of my other classmates, everything went smoothly. We go to these on Friday afternoons and stay in the school laboratory, and do some experiments, studying, etc. Then, after 2 weeks, the teacher decides they want us to mingle, and don't just group up with our classmates. So they manually pick our partners. I get partnered with a few 10th graders, and one of them was George. I kinda recognised him. Usually, I'm friendly and chatty, so I become fast friends with everyone. Time goes on, he reaches out to me over Facebook. We chat a bit, he was shy but friendly, and I was being friendly back, because I didn't want to come off as rude. But I knew that some boys think if you're friendly, you're flirting. So I intentionally kept him at a distance and talk about boys and stuff. Wing-woman him a little, you know how it goes. I then got a boyfriend, and I knew he didn't like that. We were kind of friends, because we were in chorus and science program, but nothing past that. Time goes by, it's been like 4 or 5 months, and I know he likes me. I have just been broken up with, so he thinks I'm free. I hold him at a distance, and he starts to act weirder and weirder. At first, I thought it was because he has a crush on me, and he doesn't know better. But then, he gets weirder and weirder, like going to the fountain to drink, but kept watching me through the doorway, looking at and later up who I was talking to. I had guy friends at the time, and whenever he saw me talking to them, he wouldn't leave me alone until I told him who they were and if they liked me or not. Mind you, we weren't even really friends at this point. He keeps following me in school, on field trips with chorus and the science program. One time I caught him taking pictures of me, but he laughed it off when I confronted him. One time he was showing me pictures on his phone, and he accidentally showed me one of my own ass. I was standing normally, with my back to him, talking to my other friend in the program, and he took a picture of my ass and legs. He laughs it off again, says it must have been an accident, but the photo was clear and I was perfectly in the middle. I get even more weirded out, distance him more. Time goes by of him texting me the same or even more, and me trying to ignore him and curve him softly and nicely. Before anyone says I should have been firmer, I understand your point. But we also had many mutual friends, and we were still in the program and chorus, and I didn't want to make it awkward for everyone. So I kept blocking his attempts of breaking out of the friend zone, even though that's not real and he wasn't my friend. He was still following me, looking up everyone I knew on Facebook. He started this shitty game, where he would tell me what I was wearing, even though I didn't see him at all, that day or week. He didn't have many friends, especially in my class, so no one told him what I was wearing. I don't know how he knew what I was wearing, because me and all my friends, even my friendly classmates, looked out for him. The worst in this was the embarrassment I felt. When my friends would see him, and everyone had to focus on keeping me out of his sight, and even them feeling uncomfortable by his presence and creepiness. One time I was wearing a knee-length skirt with a normal t-shirt, and black, not see-through stockings, and he messaged me. I had to go to the bathroom because I almost had a little problem in my pants. meaning he almost creamed his pants. Gross. I ignore him more and more, ghosting him, looking away, not talking to him, hoping he would take the obvious hint and flip off. But he gets worse. He texts me more sexual messages, more creepy shit, asking why I'm ignoring him, gaslighting and manipulating him. I felt super uncomfortable every time he was in the same room. My birthday was coming up, and a week before, he sends me a screenshot of his gallery on his phone. And he has a whole folder of my pictures, over 47 of me in it. Some he screenshotted my story, or downloaded my uploaded pics. After that, I don't upload at all, or even today, way less frequent. I blocked him finally, and he messaged me on another platform. Why? I understand you hate me, I get it, blah blah blah. And more gaslighting. I felt bad, because he didn't have many friends, so I unblocked him, which was a big mistake. He thought that meant I liked him back. After that, he was unavoidable. At every school function, every day, he would find a way to annoy me and my friends. He spread the rumour that we were together and that I loved him, etc. I had to find a new route to the bus station because he memorised where I went and started to go that way, just so we could coincidentally meet. Finally, summer is here, and we go on break, and he goes home from the dorms, but he just keeps messaging me. The usual creepiness, sexual shit, stupid anime pictures. When I posted after months that I went on a motorbike ride with my brother, he downloaded the pic and sent it with the caption, "I want to have a motorbike so I can visit you every day." He kept hinting at the place I lived. At this point, he was messaging me multiple times a day, and he wouldn't leave me alone. I didn't message him back anymore, and just ignored his existence. I went to a summer job, where I reconnected with an old friend, who I told everything about this guy. She mentioned that her best friend is a muscular guy, who likes to help girls like me and scare away the dude. So I say okay. At this time, I was desperate to get George off my back. I was even thinking of asking a guy friend of mine to pretend to be my boyfriend for money. When I met her best friend, and soon after meeting him, like a month, we started dating. I told him all about George, showed him evidence, and he was absolutely disgusted by him. Summer comes to an end, we go back to school. The chorus goes on a trip, and we go to the school's lake house. He's there, of course, and luckily, my friends, who are very upfront and confident, are also there. I try my best to ignore him and pretend he doesn't exist. My friends separate us the best they can. One evening, after the chorus meeting, he waits for the opportunity when my friends go to the bathroom and I'm alone. So, he corners me between him and the wall. I was sitting on a couch, so I can't really leave, because he's standing in the way. He reaches out, and in his sweaty hand is a ring. A fucking ring. He says he bought it for me. I tell him to keep it and give it to another girl who likes him back. He won't let up, and I get more and more anxious that he won't let me leave. I wait until he moves a little, and I slip past him and bolt upstairs to our room I shared with one of my friends. I tell them what happened, and after that we avoid him even more. After we got home from the trip, I tell everything to my boyfriend. He tells me that he will talk to him before our next trip to Poland. He does, and George says he will back off, says sorry, etc. Well, he just continues his shit. Glues himself to my group of friends and wouldn't leave us alone. He was lurking around, waiting for me to be alone so he could ask me about my boyfriend and why I was letting him dictate our relationship. Luckily, my friend is extra, so she positions herself between us all the time, and I am extremely grateful for that. After we get home, I tell my boyfriend everything, and he talks to him again. But George keeps up his shit, so I tell him that my boyfriend wants to talk to him again. At first, George escapes through the side door of the school and tells me that my boyfriend didn't show up to talk. I laugh at him because my boyfriend is next to me reading his messages. He was waiting for over an hour just to tell him to fuck off. Well, next time he can't escape because I'm there, So he goes out to talk. After an excruciating half hour, we go home to my boyfriend's house. He tells me it went good, and I go home. At night, George messages me, tells me that he wants me to tell him to leave me alone, and doesn't want my boyfriend to manipulate me to hate him. I get so mad, and rant to him and chew him out for his bullshit over the past year or so. I block him after, and everything is fine. He doesn't reach out again, leaves me alone, and probably hates me too. Good. I forget him. Do you think this was the end? No, of course not. After 5 months, he messages me again, tells me he's sorry, admits he was wrong, and he would like a second chance. I warily accept, hoping he did change. Well, he did change, because he made up an imaginary girlfriend to make me think he didn't like me anymore. But he kept trying to coax me into going to his dorm to play pool. I deny him, he gets mad, I chew him out again. I tell him to leave me alone, he clearly hasn't changed, and I don't want him in my life, to fuck off, like he has the previous 5 months. He blocks me on Facebook and leaves me alone. For a week. He messages me again, and I tell him to leave again. After that, he doesn't try anymore. He has found himself a new target. The new girl looks like me. Hair colour, length, height, eyes, and style are very similar. She goes to the chorus too. I leave the chorus, and the program is over, so he doesn't have an excuse. Do you think that now it has ended? No, of course not. After a year, he starts showing up at the store I went to every day for 3 years now. Exactly when I went, he could have went like 20 minutes before, and we would have missed each other. But he went when he knew I usually do. One time, I was standing in line, at the end of the obviously longer line, out of the two, and he stood behind me, didn't talk, just looked. I was getting mad, so I decided that I would not go to that store for 2 weeks. I eventually forgot about it, and after a while I went back to the store the usual time I did. Before you ask why I was going at the exact same time every day, well, the answer is quite simple. I got off my bus at 5 minutes past 7, at around 7:45ish. As this was the only store on the way to school, here school starts at 8, so I could just go in at 7:45, buy my breakfast in under 2 minutes and be done by 7:50. And I still had 10 minutes to walk the extra 3 minutes to school. After that, I noticed that when at a school function, he would look at me multiple times and would quickly take his eyes off me when I noticed. But then he graduated and moved to a different city 100 kilometers away. I kept and still keep him blocked, but one time when he was stalking my Instagram profile, he accidentally clicked the request to follow me and quickly deleted it. I blocked him there too, and it's been quiet since. So, my 9th to 10th grade stalker, George, let's not ever meet again.